Hello, this is your captain speaking, and we're back with more Kerbal Space Program, and today we are taking a look at yet another Star Citizen ship, the Anvil Aerospace Retaliator. This thing is a gigantic train wreck and a logistical mess, but something you probably haven't seen before in your life is a train wreck that can fly and with very little assistance, like surprisingly little assistance, get into orbit. So that's what I'm going to show you doing this thing today. I'm going to start with my little flight around KSC test flight that I usually like to do at the beginning of these videos, and then I'm going to show you the two-stage orbit. Almost knocked the wing on the ground. Show you the me getting into orbit with minor assistance. Oh god, pull up, pull up, pull up! Shit, fuck. Okay, that was close. Yeah, this thing, despite the massive amount of weight of it carries around, plus the just the mess of control surfaces it has, well, it's not super pretty, but I'm really proud of how close I actually got it to look like the real thing. And the back wing section here, you can see it's a little flip-floppity. This thing is dropping my frame rate quite a bit. Usually I'm able to record in 60, but it's dropping it to like 30, sometimes 40. I'm okay with 40. But yeah, sorry about the slightly lower quality video for those of you who notice that kind of stuff. I don't always notice it, really. But, dang, I'm really proud of this thing. I gotta gush about that for a second, how proud I am of it. And, proudly, I'm going to land it somehow. Alright, and I'm gonna cut the engines right about here on the line where the grass changes color. I'd like to apologize to you guys. It's been a couple weeks since I made a video. You know, life stuff. Life stuff happens. There's not much I can do about that, but I thank you for the massive gain of subscribers I've been continuing to get. I'm at 272 as of recording this right now. That's almost 300, guys. I'm really impressed, and it means a lot to me that you guys are watching and commenting on my videos, and I'm hoping that I can continue to provide you with stuff that you find entertaining. Thank you so much. Welcome new subscribers. Alright, as you can see, this thing glides exceptionally well. I don't even really need the RCS on, but I'm going to use it as insurance because this is making me nervous. Oh god, coming in fast. Oh, that was quite beautiful. I'm going to turn on SAS for landing on the runway so my wings surfaces don't go crazy and crash into the ground. SAS, when I'm flying this thing, doesn't quite work the same. For some reason, I don't understand why. It gets all jittery and refuses to nose up when I have SAS on while flying, unless I'm like in space. So, no SAS when I'm flying in the atmosphere, which creates a bit of a problem for when I'm trying to precision fly this thing for when I get into space, which we are going to be doing now! Oh my god, look at that segue. Also, hey look. Hey, look up there. It's the moon. Cool. Going to space! Alright, so here we are back on the runway with the jet assist module on the bottom of this. Okay, so the reason why I have the jet assist module, I have these Rapier engines on the back. Rapiers are very, very good for space planes. However, they don't supply enough thrust to be able to get this gargantuan thing, which is engorged with fuel, by the way. Like, every tank is full of fuel, and this thing has a lot of fuel tanks to fill out, I guess, structural space. What's going on here? Okay, it was shaking on the runway. So we have liftoff. I've got these turbojets on the bottom to provide a bit more lift while we're ascending. And then once one of them starts to burn out, I'll just drop it. It's a bit wobbly. Should have put struts on that. Whatever. Now we start the slow, kind of slow ascent into space and hope that nothing falls apart. Obviously, with this thing, there are some, well, there are some authenticity issues I can't really do much about, like the cockpit. I can't give it the huge field of view, and the intakes right here can't exactly make them look like the intakes in Star Citizen with the whole venting thing going on. I could add control surfaces as the vents. However, that would fuck with the aerodynamics even more, and I'm not willing to put up with that. I put many hours of a Saturday and a Sunday into making this ship into something that can fly and get into space, and I was getting frustrated and mad at myself that I couldn't make this thing I couldn't make this thing an SSTO. So I finally had to compromise with myself and say, okay, we'll do this little jet assist thing. Jet assist sounds like Genesis, and I keep almost wanting to say Genesis. I'll do this little jet assist thing. That'll get us into space, and you guys will totally understand because look at this fucking thing. It's like 200. I think it's like 239 parts total. It costs like like 140,000 Kerbal dollars to launch. Getting pretty high here. Gotta watch my turbo engines to make sure they don't completely burn out without me catching them, because then I'm gonna have to worry about like a giant spinning problem. They seem to be doing pretty good right now. We are at 16.5 kilometers up. We're moving at 550 meters per second. Our ascent is steady. Doing surprisingly well considering I've got SAS on. I was having problems with that earlier, but I guess just decided, fuck it. It's just, the game's gonna make me look like a big dumb idiot. That's fine. Thanks, Kerbal Space Program. All these videos I've done for you, all the, oh god, it's spinning. Drop it. Okay. Change to rocket mode. Lost a little bit of speed there because I freaked out and cut the engines. The jet assist is tumbling back down to Kerb in there. But we are in rocket mode now on all of our Rapier engines. And this will now carry us into space. And we have a very large amount of fuel left. I still have fuel tanks that are untapped up here. Just because I wanted to save a little bit of reserve fuel. And, well, aerodynamics-wise, here I have a little cargo bay here, which is intended to be like the bomb bay. I did have bombs in there, but for some reason every time I launched them, they would collide with the geometry of the ship and blow it all up, and that was frustrating, so I stopped because I was getting mad at myself. But we're getting a pretty good apoapse here. 54, 58 kilometers, 60 kilometers up. We're going to keep burning until we're about 100 kilometers apoapse. And we're just going to let these engines do their job. Oh god, they're about to overheat. Glad I caught that on time. That could have been bad. Alright, keep burning towards apoapse. Tone down my engines a little bit so they don't overheat and explode. That would be embarrassing. I don't want to start the launch again. It's already pretty late here. I've been putting off recording a lot lately. Yeah. Like, I still totally want to make videos, and I still totally appreciate all the input you guys have been giving me. Oh, I burned way too much. 131 meters. That's fine. We have more than enough fuel to be able to get us into orbit. Now, getting back, on the other hand, might be difficult, but I'm going to remain hopeful for it. So, going to time excel to my apoapse a bit more here. I have no, like, rudder control when I'm in space, which is kind of a problem. I didn't put RCS ports on the side, which it was a bit of an oversight on my behalf, but I guess I don't really need it, because I could just use the RCS ports to bank and then pull up like that. But it would be nice to have that maneuverability. Whatever. I wasn't paying attention to the node. God dang it. Whatever. I'm not worried about us getting to orbit. It's totally gonna happen. Gonna unlock this little fuel chamber here. That should be good. That'll help us have plenty of fuel to get up there. 20 seconds left on the burn. I'm wondering if we're going to get a full orbit here. I think we should be fine. A bit higher. Boom. That's orbit. We're successfully into orbit. We've still got a bit of fuel left. We got enough fuel to get us back down to the planet's surface. So, yeah. We got the Retaliator with a very minor assist. Just giant, heavy, son of a bitch ship. We got it into orbit. And it looks super cool. I'm very proud of it. So, now we got to get this thing back down to Kerbin in our new traditional style, which is me landing it in the desert, which I guess, I don't know, I call it Kerbganistan. I don't know if you guys call it anything like that, but that's just what I call deserts. I'm going to time excel until that's on the day side, though. There's all the mess of ships down there in the desert. That's where we're aiming for. We're aiming for that Aurora. We're going to land right next to it. The more ships I can land in the desert, the better. So, time acceleration. So I'm just gonna point my face retrograde here and just do a deorbit burn. Simple, sweet, easy like that. Don't have much fuel left. I'm wondering how much of a problem this is gonna be. Okay, we have 20 units of fuel left. 20.91 units of liquid fuel left. That's good. Point my nose forward and gonna do a time acceleration. That was our deorbit burn. We got nicely over our target location. Yeah. We should be good to land there. Okay, stop time accelerating. Stop it. Okay, we're now entering the atmosphere. See, the really good thing about this is that it's mostly wings and control surfaces, which means after the many hours I spent trying to balance this so I'll be able to glide properly, well, it should glide like a real son of a bitch. And I'm excited to try this out and hopefully not crash it and ruin everything. I'm only really good at landing this thing on runways, which is, well, why I have many wheels on it, to try and guarantee the fact that I can land this thing on, well, to try and make it a little bit easier for me landing this thing on any kind of rough terrain, which is, well, we're landing on the desert, so obviously, yes, it's going to be rough terrain. Should be interesting. Probably going to crash, might kill some Kerbals today, but that's fine, because that's really what else do you play Kerbal Space Program for? I just spit all over my screen. What else do you play Kerbal Space Program for than to, I mean, it's a game of trial and error and killing Kerbals. I have many dead Kerbals under my belt. I had somebody asking me recently, like, why are you so good at Kerbal Space Program? And I'm not kidding. Somebody actually asked me this, and it's because, like, I put, like, 700 fucking hours into this game. And Jesus, I'm not even that good at it. There are people who can do amazing, crazy things. I don't remember, well, obviously there's Scott Manley, who has been commenting on a couple of my last videos. Well, wow. That's the guy I learned how to play from. That's crazy. And there's, like, that Danny 020 something, whatever his name is. His videos are very funny, very well edited if you watch his. He's made, like, planet-destroying devices and such in, like, stock, which is interesting to me. And then you have that one YouTuber, don't remember his name. He makes these really simple SSTOs that fly to different planets, refuel there, and come all the way back. And they're just, like, super simplistic. I don't understand how he's doing it, other than dark wizardry and magic. It's fucking crazy. So, while I am in a nice glide, I'm going to switch all of my engines over to air-breathing mode. I'm not going to activate them yet. They're just going to be on standby in air-breathing mode, so I have 20 units of jet fuel to glide. Oh, I have 20 units of jet fuel to burn through, and using rocket fuel will be too expensive. Okay, we're getting some re-entry effects here. So, what is our trajectory looking like? Okay, it still looks like we're coming down to the desert, which is good. I'm just a little bit afraid that we might not be able to get by the Aurora. If you look down there, you can see the remains of my last ship, which I crashed down there. What was it? What was it again? Chasby Kerman? What were you piloting? Oh, yeah. Duh, it was the Vanguard. Yeah, down there is the remains of the Vanguard. I'm going to try and land this successfully in the desert next to my Aurora and my Hornet. I'm sad I couldn't make the Vanguard over there, but, yeah. I'm going to land the Retaliator next to the Hornet, and then my next video, which probably going to be a variation of the 300i or 300 or 350R. I made those. I made an SSTO of that, so you guys look out for that, because I'm really excited to show that, because I spent maybe like an hour building a ship that would fly, and then I was like, fuck it. I'm going to strap two Rapier engines on the back of it. I'm going to kind of build it to look a little bit more like a 350R, like racing variant of the ship. I'm going to get this yo into orbit, yo. And it worked like first try, and I thought, no way that worked so well. Like, I usually put like hours and hours of work into this, but making the 300i, it worked out really well for me for making an SSTO ship. Like, SSTOs are still a challenge for me to make, and I made that into an SSTO pretty fucking effortlessly. So we are gliding down here. We are 43 kilometers away from the Aurora, 42, 41. Based on glide power alone, I think we should be able to just land this thing right next to it. Well, hopefully, assuming we don't hit the ground too hard. I'm excited, though. So now we begin the long glide, 36 kilometers away. We're getting close. Okay, now that I'm within 20 kilometers of my my Aurora, which is on the ground over there, I'm gonna kind of swoop in a bit, put myself traveling towards the ground a bit faster, so we'll be a bit lower when we come up to it, because I don't want to totally overshoot it, just burning off all this vertical velocity that I have going here. And I'll just try and glide up right next to it. Okay, so I'm super excited, by the way. Kerbal Space Program version 1.0 comes out in 6 days from now of me recording this. I guess I'll put this out tomorrow, so it'll be 5 days from you guys seeing this video, possibly, if you watch the first day. 5 days. until Kerbal Space Program 1.0 comes out, and I am super fucking excited, because that means I get to start a new space program again, because I abandoned the last one, because I was like, well, it's going to be obsolete when the update comes out, and it's not going to be as good. I don't want to play just an outdated version. Whatever. Also, I figure doing it at such a major patch, 1.0, might get me some more views, you know. I mean, I really appreciate the views I've been getting, but more views are always a good thing. I'm not greedy. I'm a little bit greedy. It's not like I'm getting paid for any of this. I mean, fuck. This is just a hobby for me. But it's a great hobby, and I really appreciate you guys supporting me. And, like, friends who support me and family. That's means a lot. Need to stop gushing about that. We are 9.6 kilometers away from the craft. We're gonna land. We are gonna touch our nose to this no, we're not gonna do that because everything's gonna break. Land right next to it. Okay, I'm not even touching any controls right now, just so you guys know. I'll take off SAS. Okay, SAS drops it a bit. But flying like this, not touching any controls, it's just flying in a perfectly straight line. It's been gliding. I have not touched the engine since I burned through the atmosphere. Like, this is all glide power right here. I'm fucking impressed with myself that I was able to build this. It just looks really good. I obviously can't get that glowy blue shit or the perfectly pointy back, but I think it looks really nice. I'm very proud of this one. 4.6 kilometers away. 4.5. We are 2.4 kilometers away from the Aurora, and there we go. The lag spike just happened. It just loaded in. I'm going to see if I can see it from the cockpit without crashing this. Yep, it's right there. Awesome. Land up right next to it. 1.9 kilometers away, dropping my landing gear. I'm going to pull up a bit so I can see if I can up my flaps, burn off some velocity here. Ah, man, I'm excited. I need to figure out how to get aero brakes to work, because I know there is a way to aero brake in stock. I just don't know how to do it. Okay, it looks like we're traveling uphill a bit here, which is a bit unfortunate, because that means I'm going to be traveling downhill when I do actually land, and I'm going to overshoot the Aurora. Okay, 900 meters away. We still haven't touched the ground yet. Okay, touch ground. We touched. Touch ground. And activate my brakes. Don't tip. Just like a douche at a restaurant. Don't tip. Alright, I'm activating my jets to give us that last little push. We're still moving it. Oh, that's orbital. Okay, thanks game for not switching to surface when I needed you to switch to surface. Going 15 meters per second towards it. Gonna get us right up next to it. And we're going to do a nice little picture once we get there. A nice little happy spaceship picture that Space Bob Ross would be totally proud of. Okay, activate my brakes. I don't want to crash into it. That'd be funny, but it would be also embarrassing. 100 meters away. Slow myself down. Oh, God. 7. Okay, 50 meters away. 40. 30. 20. Oh, stop. Boom! Awesome! That was the Anvil Aerospace Retaliator long-range bomber, and I got it to work in Kerbal Space Program as a vessel that can get into orbit with minimal assistance. And I got it to land safely next to my Aurora. Which, by the way, size comparison here, look at that thing. Look at this thing compared to the Aurora. Thank you so much for watching. Like I've said a billion times in this video, I really appreciate everything, and, well, I mean, if you like this video, then subscribe. That'd be really great. This is your captain signing off. Bye. More videos coming soon.